You like to think you control your life. That your choices, your actions, your decisions are truly yours. But have you ever stopped to ask, how much of that is real? How often have you felt compelled to do something, only to realize later that the thought never truly belonged to you? The truth is uncomfortable. Almost everything you do is influenced, nudged, guided, and sometimes manipulated by forces you barely notice. And yet, the most powerful people never force anyone. They simply create a reality in which everyone moves exactly how they want, without realizing they are moving at all. Think back to a recent decision. Did you truly come to it on your own, or was it shaped by conversation, suggestion, or circumstance? Perhaps it started as a seed, planted by someone else. You watered it. You nurtured it. And eventually, you convinced yourself it had grown entirely from your own mind. This is the nature of influence. True power rarely shouts. It whispers. It works quietly, invisibly, weaving ideas into the mind until they bloom naturally. The ones who truly shape the world are not those who command, they are those whose intentions remain unseen. So, what separates the puppeteers from the puppets? It's subtle, almost imperceptible. Identify the right minds. Influence is never universal. It targets those who are receptive, those already searching for guidance, consciously or not. Let the idea feel their own. People resist orders but embrace conclusions they feel they discovered. Suggest, hint, provoke thought, never dictate. Divide before they unite. Resistance is strongest when it is organized. The more cohesive a group, the more dangerous. A whisper of doubt, a subtle seed of suspicion, and suddenly the group fractures without a single overt confrontation. Emotion trumps logic. The mind may reason, but the heart acts. Fear, pride, desire, longing, these are levers. If you want to move someone, understand what pulls at them. Mastery is invisible. You don't tell people what to do. You make them feel it's necessary. History is full of examples. Every great movement, every societal shift, every revolution, begins not with arguments but with emotion. Not with data, but with a story that resonates deep within the heart. Consider how leaders create loyalty. They rarely rely on logic alone. Instead, they craft narratives, connect with identity, and embed ideas into the very sense of self. When people adopt an idea as part of who they are, they defend it fiercely, willingly, even passionately. This is subtle programming, not coercion. Exposure, repetition, and emotional connection are the pillars. Exposure, small, repeated nudges condition the mind, making new ideas familiar. Repetition, the more often we encounter an idea, the more credible it becomes. Emotion, the human brain responds to feeling far more than fact. Attach an idea to longing, fear, or pride, and it becomes unforgettable. And here's something most people never notice: patterns guide human behavior even more than individual reasoning. Listening builds trust. People are drawn to those who make them feel heard, because validation fosters connection. Fear motivates more than reward. Threat of loss is more compelling than promise of gain. Scarcity amplifies desire. Ideas or knowledge that seem rare or exclusive hold more power. Recognize these patterns, and you can anticipate behavior before it even occurs. This is not magic, it's understanding human nature. But there's a dark truth about control: it is never absolute. No matter how skilled you are, humans are unpredictable. A single emotion, an unexpected change, a sudden insight, and all your careful manipulation can unravel. Worse, Learning these methods changes your perception. You begin to see strings everywhere. Friends, colleagues, lovers, they may not be genuine, or perhaps they are influenced by forces you cannot see. This awareness is intoxicating and isolating. Absolute control is an illusion. Even the most brilliant strategist is always vulnerable to the chaos inherent in human nature. And this is the final question you must ask yourself: just because you can influence, does it mean you should? Every act of manipulation carries a cost. It can erode trust, distort reality, and even make you question your own authenticity. History is littered with those who believed themselves invincible, only to be undone by the very forces they once controlled. Influence is a double-edged sword. The more you understand it, the more you recognize its dangers, not just in others, but in yourself. The paradox is simple: the less you appear to control, the more control you actually have. True power is silent, invisible, indirect. It moves through the world without ever raising its voice. The loudest person rarely wields the most influence. So here's the final question: will you remain a puppet, moved by ideas and emotions not your own? Or will you learn to guide, subtly and wisely, without anyone realizing the strings are in your hands? Mastering influence is not about domination. It's about understanding. About seeing the patterns, the emotions, the whispers of thought that shape every human action. And once you do, the world changes. Remember, people follow feelings, not facts. They defend identities, not arguments. They act on instincts, not logic. Influence is not about speaking loudly or commanding obedience. It's about creating reality in which others walk exactly where you intend, all while believing it was their choice. The question is no longer whether you can control the world around you. It's whether you can face the responsibility of knowing just how much control has already existed over you. And that is where philosophy meets power.